Welcome everybody to episode 32.
Just getting my board. Excuse me. Try not to smudge it. Am I in frame?
Yeah, At Home with the Fishers, starring Nicola and Chris Fisher RPT. And our special guest today is Stephen of Stephen's 8x6 workshop.
Woo!
So welcome, Stephen. It's great to finally have you on. So we shall look forward to chatting with you tonight. And you can put that down.
Put that down.
It's great to be here.
So, yes, Stephen. Obviously, we've known of you for quite a while now, and we've had some encounters. Some of it, often too brief because, I've been at shows and you've been at shows and we've been like ships passing in the night. But Nicola always say, I've seen Stephen down there and he's just said hi and how you doing. So, but it was great to have a bit more of a longer chat with you at Harrogate. So that was cool, wasn't it? Yeah. So.
Well,
yes.
I know quite a lot about Stephen.
I bet you do.
Yeah.
Hey, what's going on?
No, she's been doing the research, Steve. So.
No, he helped me. He sent me a load of stuff.
Oh, right. Well, that's cool. Oh, well, that's good because that just makes it better if you get it straight from the horse's mouth, as it were.
Yeah.
So, anyway, who's hanging around tonight?
So, good evening, everybody. Looks like we've got 11 people watching at the moment.
Good evening, everybody.
So we've got the Flaming Turner.
Hi, Nick.
T+G Making, Wayne the Woodturner, Stace May.
Oh,
hello. Who else have we got? Andy Pugh.
Good evening.
Christine and Michael Hesseltine.
Hey up.
Blue Light Turner creating shavings since 2016.
Hi, Scott.
Who else have we got? David McLean and Woodturning Crafts.
Hi, Dave.
Debbie Beardall, Leona Fay. So I think that's everybody. So good evening, everybody. A couple of people are saying they've not had a notification, so I don't know what happened there. I've done the usual thing, so hopefully.
That's interesting because I got a notification on my phone.
Yeah, it popped up on here as well, but might just be one of those things. Yeah,
a glitch.
So, well, let's start with Stephen then.
Well, yeah, we always start with our special guest. So, let's hear what you've got to say.
Do you know that Stephen lived in Australia?
I didn't know that.
Yeah, he lived in Australia until the age of 7, and then he came back to the UK. And it was just to get you into a good school and get you an English education, I believe. He's done an awful lot.
Well, that. Go on, no, you're okay. You carry on. You did.
Okay.
It feels like this is your life.
Oh yeah.
And you're read book.
Know what you've done. Stephen was interested in music from an early age, and at 13 he played bagpipes with a variety of bands, and he toured with the Blackpool Caledonian Pipe Band.
Now, I did know that he played the bagpipes.
You did know that?
Yeah.
In the late 70s. He collects and plays all different types of pipes, and one of his ambitions is to make his own set of bagpipes on the lathe.
Yeah, I'd heard that as well.
Yeah. He's played guitar, bass, ukulele, and by the Panama Hat Band, formed by a friend to give people with learning disabilities an opportunity to perform for a few years.
Wonderful.
He's done a variety of jobs. He's built a computer from a kit. It's a Sinclair ZX81. Remember those?
I flipping do. Yeah.
And that sparked an interest in electronics and computing. He's had a career as a contract programmer and been a systems analyst, a teacher, and an IT manager. And then in 2001, he changed direction completely. He had a childhood passion for origami, and he started demonstrating and teaching the art at schools, colleges, and universities.
Definitely know that fact.
We do know that, and we still have some of your origami as well that you've given us at various maker events.
Yeah, it's origami sticker card type thing.
Yeah.
That's on my sticker board.
Yeah.
I felt that the other day, actually.
Yeah. And he was trying to bag all of the Lancashire Women's Institutes, but he only managed 147 of them.
Slacker.
I can't believe that there are 147 WIs just in Lancashire.
Yeah, there's a lot more now as well. They're making all new, what do you call them, branches, chapters, meetings. Yeah, I think they're nearly pushing 160 in Lancashire alone.
Gosh.
So I'd never have a chance now, would I?
That's amazing. I can't believe there are so many. So right, well, let's talk a bit more about making, and then I'll go back to some of the things that you've done, especially your workshop, which is very unique.
Well, it's famous for its diminutive stature.
Yeah, and I remember watching that video of your workshop and all the things that you've got in there and how you've laid it out so cleverly. It's amazing. That was a really impressive video to watch.
Yeah, it's very clever.
Yeah. So our first question is, Stephen, why do you make?
Because I have to. I see an idea, and if I don't follow it up, it just rattles around in my head for forever. You know, like when you have a song that you get stuck in your head and you can't get rid of it.
Yeah.
It's that sort of thing. I just have to cogitate on it and make it. Otherwise, I can't let it go. You know, something will form and it'll build up, and I'll work on it for a week or two, or even a month or two, and in the end I've just got to go and do it. Otherwise I can't get it out of my head, and I just have to make it. So, and I absolutely love making things, and it doesn't matter what it is, whether it's wood or metal or plastic or even paper. I just like being creative.
So what does it give to you, being creative? Why is it so important to you?
I think it is so easy in this world to be destructive, but it's harder to be creative and to make things. I think as well, I like how can I explain it really? Putting smiles on faces. There's not enough of that. You know, you say good morning to someone, say what's good about it, you know, but it's delivering smiles, as I like to call it, and it's just generally being creative. I think it's like diarrhea, it's in your genes, you know, you've just got to do it.
Yeah, very good.
Yeah, I think it is. I think, you know, all the people we have on, they say very similar things. It's sort of a compulsion, and it's good for their mental health, and it's that. Well, for me, I like having something that I've made. You know, at the end of it, you've put something together and you've got a result and something to take away as well. I think that's
true.
Yeah, it's and you think, well, I did that, you know, and you've sort of created something out of nothing.
Very satisfying.
Yeah. And it's, I don't know, it is a lot of fun. I bought a pyrography kit, a machine at Harrogate, because I'd dabbled a bit before, but I had a machine that only had one setting on it, and I did a bit whilst we were there, And that was just sitting there. I felt like I was about 7, and just doing this pyro, and it was really satisfying. And it does take you back to that kind of feeling that you had when you were at school, and you just sat there and you just making stuff out of egg boxes.
You know what the word is?
What?
Fun.
Yeah, I suppose it is.
That's it. Yeah.
It's fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I loved it.
It's just letting go. It's just letting go and being creative. I think that's what we're here to do. Just be creative and enjoy and make.
Yeah.
And I feel sorry actually for the younger generation now. I mean, back in the day when I was at school, we did woodwork and metalwork and technical drawing and engineering drawing and drama and practical hands-on. But those are not in the curriculum now, so it's very difficult for the younger generation really to experience these things. Again, I mean, when I was young, we had old Bob down the road who had a lathe. You go down and visit him and watch him turn things, but that's sort of disappeared now because social media is on the internet now. So I think a lot of makers, it's very important that makers can be on YouTube, because it gives the younger generation a chance to actually see what's going on with a bit of wood or a bit of metal or stitching leather. It gives them an opportunity to experience these things and hopefully encourage them to have a go as well.
I think it's true. If you look at the demographic of the audience at Harrogate, it's sort of definitely the older end of the scale. We had Nathan came, didn't we? How old is he? About 16. And he's making and there's opposite us on, I think, West Riding Woodturners.
All right.
There was a younger guy on there, but it was sort of few and far between, really. It was definitely the older generation.
I did hear a few younger voices, but not many. And the voices I did hear really were mainly on the Sunday. Because Friday they were at school, and Saturday they're probably mucking about and whatever. But Sunday, a few kids were around. But it's always makes you smile when you hear like Caitlin.
She was there as well. She came.
You've got these young kids.
I miss Caitlin.
Yeah, I saw her briefly. I don't know. Did you speak to her?
I can't remember. No. I don't think so.
Yeah, I saw her briefly, but I didn't speak to her. But she was there as well with her mum and dad, I think.
Yeah, but it is great when you hear of the youngsters that are beginning to, like Nick Zametti's son as well. His own channel. So we need more kids coming through, having fun making stuff. Whether or not they're doing it solo with support, or they're doing it with mum and dad, and like Harry as well with his dad. So they're coming through, but it's a shame that all that's been taken away from schools. Because we've got such a great tradition and heritage of engineering and artistic and architectural, skill and craftsmanship. And I've said this before, a lot of people aren't academic, but you give them something to build with the hands, and they're like genius level.
Someone just asked David McClernand. Yes, it is Peter Childs. I got it from Bob Neal. He was at the stand opposite us, and I had a bit of a go before I bought it.
Yeah, I had a feel of it this morning when we had breakfast, and it does feel like a nice bit of kit.
Yeah, it's good.
Yeah, don't let me anywhere near it.
No.
Burn the house down.
So, tell us a bit about what the maker community has given you.
Oh, I think it's given me enthusiasm, excitement, and friendship as well, because and being able to communicate and share ideas sort of like in real time. You know, before the internet, if you had an idea, you'd sort of sketch it out, send it off, it'd be published in a magazine, and then someone would develop it and it would get published in the magazine. So developing an idea, sort of crowdsourcing an idea before the internet could take weeks or months or even a year or two, but now all that can actually be done overnight.
Yeah.
You can put an idea up on social media like Facebook or Instagram, and within minutes you've got people contributing in and suggesting things and developing it. So I think the what we've got now with the social media, we can do things faster. And I really like getting involved with that, you know, being in the masses of the makers, and it's just the camaraderie and the friendship. You know, at Harrogate, I bumped into a lot of people that I saw at Makers Central, and just carried on the conversation with them as though it was just like a week ago, you know. Yeah, it's the friendship as well. Yeah.
Are you happy that it's been announced that Makers 2020, Makers Central 2020 has been announced, and are you going?
Yes and yes. Just try and stop me. I think because it's like the previous Maker Centrals really have sort of been based around the YouTube community, but I do think it's expanding out now, isn't it, into other disciplines, and people are coming that are not necessarily on YouTube but are on the internet in some form. So it's growing. It is growing. I don't know whether Nick Zametti will be able to put the lid on this. Now the genie's out of the bottle, so to speak. You know. So I think it's a brilliant idea. And also at places like Maker Central, you do tend to get the younger generation involved as well.
Yeah. Well, Sophie did some stuff, and there was another guy with her, and I know his face, and he was there at Harrogate, but I can't remember what he's called. He sort of he's got a beard, and then he has a bit of red through his hair. But he did a lot with Sophie last year as well. They sort of were doing all the kids' stuff, and that was mega busy, wasn't it?
Yeah, there were lots of kids
because they were opposite us last year. But yeah, it is a different audience altogether. Probably a lot of the people that were at Harrogate won't be at Maker Central, but there'll be that core of people, you know, who'll go to Maker Central. But yeah, it's interesting sort of how the audiences are a little bit different. But yeah, it's
I think also, at Maker Central, you've got the younger generation that are getting involved because of tech, you know, with like 3D printing or CNC programming, or even programming Arduinos to do different things, you know. So it's a wider spectrum, really, I think. But it's a great place for them to actually get hands-on and meet other people and become enthusiastic, really. I mean, we're getting on in years, you know. We're not going to last forever, are we? You know, we need new blood.
Yeah.
Well, I'm speaking for myself, not for you, Chris, you know.
No, I'm like everyone else, the cells are ticking away, and you know, I'm moving ever nearer to
what?
50.
Yeah.
Next Wednesday. Oh, didn't mean to say that.
Yeah. Half a century.
Well, I thought.
Yeah, no, you're quite right.
I keep thinking. Yeah, so go on. You're right. I keep thinking I should actually make my own coffin, but that's the last thing I'd need.
Oh, because you like growing your own stuff and things like that, and you know you're a vegan. Maybe you could get a friend to Yeah, to like turn you into mulch.
Well, I thought about making the coffin out of origami modules, so it would rot away. Environmentally friendly.
Yeah, 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 and you could ask each one of your subscribers to make, a little part of your coffee.
This
And sign
conversation
it.
goes downhill now.
Not in my book.
We could do a YouTube video as well.
Yeah, we could do a live stream of assembling your coffin.
Oh, great, yeah. I think what I could do a little video of how to fold a piece of it, and then invite everyone to fold that piece and sign it and send it in.
Yeah.
And then just before I pop my clogs, I can do a video of actually putting it together.
Yeah.
And then drop into it.
Yeah.
Well, it's funny that you say pop your clogs. I noticed your footwear on Saturday.
Oh, right, yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Tell us about your footwear.
Well, I have arthritis in my feet, and there's a name for it, and I can't think what it is. Basically, my feet don't flex. So when you walk and you sort of push away on the sort of like the ball of your foot as you step away.
Yeah.
Well, I don't. I sort of push away on my toes, and it's actually damaging my feet. So I had some special shoes made, which are fine. But to be honest, if I wear those in the workshop, they're not going to last 5 minutes. I only need to drop a chisel and I'm going to damage them, So I thought, well, I'm a maker. I'll make some clogs. So it's like sort of the historical part of Lancashire, isn't it? Because clogs were the footwear of the time, in the days of the mills and what have you. So you can make the clogs with a curve on the front of the clog, so that as you walk, your foot still moves naturally, but you're still pushing away with the rest of your foot, not just your toes.
Yeah.
So I thought, well, I'll make some. So I got a nice piece of wood and I drew around my foot and I cut out the wood and I made a top for it, and I put them on my feet, and it was like I had wings, because before I'd have to walk really carefully to make sure I wasn't damaging my feet. I put the clogs on and I can run. It was like having wings without drinking Red Bull.
Wow.
Other drinks are available. So I've never had them off my feet. I wear them practically all the time.
Yeah.
So in fact, it might make a good video actually to make another pair.
Yeah.
And see how the video will go, because it's really helped me the way I walk, and it might sort of enthuse other people to have a go as well. I did try and buy some clogs. There is a clog maker in the south of the country somewhere. They weren't cheap, but obviously they were made to measure for your feet. But he had nearly a 12-month waiting list. And I thought, I can't wait that long.
Yeah.
I need to be up and doing. So the clogs are never off my feet. I even sleep in them sometimes.
They look really cool. I didn't know obviously that the reason why you had them, but I spotted them and thought, wow, they look really cool.
So what
a lot of people,
Steve?
Sorry?
What wood are they made out of?
I haven't got a clue. It's just it looked like some form of mahogany. There was this really 4-inch thick piece of wood, an offcut from a beam, I think, at the wood yard that do bespoke joinery. And I said, oh, that's nice, can I have it? it's well, you can buy it. So I'm not exactly sure. I'm not exactly sure what wood it is, but it did have a reddish tinge, so it could be some form of mahogany. But it doesn't really matter as long as it's a good dense grain. It'll do the job. So yes, I don't know really.
Yeah.
It's if anybody says what is it, I say it's wood.
Yeah, it's wood.
No, they look cool.
It's wood, yeah.
Talking about maybe making a video of making clogs, I think you're quite renowned for your videos as well. You know, you've got some really good editing skills, and your videos are well produced and put together. Do you enjoy doing the videos?
I love it. Yeah, it does help if you're a nerd. If you're a bit of a nerd, it does help. But I don't intend to spend so much time on editing the videos. It's just as I'm editing, I think, oh, would it be good if I did this? Or oh, I could get that. I could make it do this. And so editing the videos takes longer than filming them. I just enjoy doing it. I suppose it's another thing that I make.
Yeah.
Although it's not, physical material, making a video is still a maker. And I just enjoy doing them. I really should get out more, I think.
No, keep on making them because they cheer people up. So keep doing what you're doing there.
So
right.
Tell us about the sort of things that you really like making.
Oh, I'll make anything. It's something that sticks in my head. So I can be looking at something. In fact, a few months ago, I was watching the Antiques Roadshow, and they had these little jugs with the tops that wobbled. They were sort of like caricatures of people, and the heads moved when you picked the pot up. And I thought, oh, that would be good if I made that in wood. And so I just see these things, and they get stuck in here, and one day they'll come out as a finished item. But it could be anything. I don't sort of say I'm a wood turner or I'm a woodworker or I'm a maker. If it's something I quite fancy doing, I'll just do it. There's some I don't film because they're just too daft or nerdy, really, to be on the 8x6 workshop. If so, some of the things I think, what the heck am I making this for? To myself, So if I put that on a video, people are going to go, I think he's lost the plot. So
I'm sure he will.
So I do. Oh, I don't know. So I do tend to keep it sort of wood related for the 8x6 workshop. Although having said that, in some of the blogs, origami does creep in on the odd occasion, and some music as well. So I have to be careful, otherwise I'm just going to diversify too far, and then you lose the sort of brand that people expect from you, So I tend to keep it wood related, but I do all sorts of things. Yeah. In fact, I bet some of these people in the chat will know what I get up to as well. I'm sure Wayne does. If he's still in the chat, I've not bored him.
Well, there's Wayne Bigfoot Woodcraft, and he's talking about Stanley the Clam. And there's a few people saying go Stanley.
Do you know he gets more fan mail than I do? Honestly,
I've seen him.
Yeah.
I had to take him to Makers Central last year because the year before people were saying, "Where's Stanley?" So I took him with me. So
it's Dan the the boss of Taylor's Murphy, he's got this little blank that's got a bit of charring to it called Bernie the Blank.
Yeah.
And that's been missing in action for years, and it turned up at Harrogate. Someone said, "Oh, is this yours?" So we completely lost track of this little blank that goes around, and it's called Bernie the Blank, isn't it? But he said he's going to make that appear a lot now in social media and videos and things. So, yeah. So there's Stanley the Clam, and Bernie the Blank. Well,
we could be setting a trend, couldn't we?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. I think as well, something about... Sorry.
No, go on, you're okay. I'll go for it. Go on. I'll just answer whatever you ask.
I think as well with the maker community, there are certain eccentricities, and people have got these, like you've got Stanley the Clam, and there's other people have got these sort of quirky little things that they do, and
might I just say Ali bloody Luya for that, because it just makes it, it's just we're not all pigeonholed, we're not all these.
Well, everybody's unique.
Yeah.
It's not like, you go to something like Maker Central and, you see all these people walking past with, like different hairdos and clothes and quite individual looks that people have. It's fascinating. And I think maybe makers find it easier to express their personality. Whereas, a lot of people that you work with in a 9 to 5, they're much more clones of each other. So, maybe it's all part of that maker culture. What do you think?
I think you're right. Yeah, I think you're right. Yeah, some of them even wear clogs. It's, but I think I saw one person going around at Maker Central with a full mask on, with the eyes out here. I can't think of his name at the minute, but perhaps it's a way of letting go your inhibitions. I don't know. What's the next stage? Cosplay. It's But again, it's making, isn't it? It's making. If nothing else, it's making people laugh. It's making fun.
I actually think you've hit on quite a good idea, actually, there, Steve. I think it would be incredible that if people, did come in like if they were at Comic-Con and things like that, dressed up, but they'd made the outfits themselves, and were doing cosplay. That'd be fascinating, Nicola describing them, and I'd say, hey, can I have a feel of this? And, steampunk or sci-fi or, gladiatorial, whatever, but, they'd made it themselves. And that'd be fascinating. That, I think you're spot on there, Steve. So let's have some amazing handmade costumes at Maker Central. That'd be epic.
Yeah, should we suggest it to Nick and see what he thinks? See if we can persuade people. Maybe even if you don't want to.
Oh yeah, that'd be cool.
Yeah, if they don't want to make a whole costume, there's people that do metalwork. They can make belts and what have you, buckles and fancy things, or woodwork. You can wear your latest designs. You never know.
No, I think that's a great idea.
Yeah.
A lot of fun.
Andy Pugh says the Craft Maiden was in cosplay last year. Flaming Turner says, I'm making a costume for 2020. He's going as a sticker board.
We can all put our stickers on him.
Yeah. That sounds good. So we've not talked about your workshop yet. So I'm sure most of the people on here know of you anyway, but for the people who might be listening later who don't know anything about you, tell us what's so special about your workshop.
It's 8 foot by 6 foot. It is 8 foot by 6 foot because that's the only size I could have. I originally built the building in the early 1990s as a store for tools and garden furniture. And anyway, work picked up and I was travelling a lot and it got sort of neglected and the roof fell in and everything in there just got soaking wet and it was just derelict. And I think it was 2016, a friend of mine, Peter, we've known each other for eons. I think we were at college together. He says, why don't you do something with that? He said, it's an eyesore, you know, why don't you convert it into a little workshop and then you're not doing your woodwork in the back of the kitchen, you know, you can actually have a place to work. So I thought, well, yeah, good idea that. So he came down one weekend and between us we just gutted the place and put a roof on it. And he said it was actually sort of a comment that was made in jest, you know, oh, why don't you do YouTube videos? And because you like doing, you know, you like showing off, he says. So, I thought, well, actually that might be a good idea. And the workshop just started to grow. It just developed organically. I wasn't even intending in having a lathe, but I just happened to come home one day and there was one in the boot of the car for some reason. So over about 6 or 8 months, it just developed. But I can't extend it because I've got a beautiful oak tree in the garden, and I have to leave enough growth room for it.
Yeah.
Every couple of years, I've got to relay the flags outside because the ground shifts a little bit.
Yeah.
You know, over about 2 or 3 years, the flags will start to move. So I have to lift them up and flatten them off and put them back down again. So I can't sort of extend, otherwise I'm going to encroach on the tree's growth area. So I'm thinking, well, 8 foot by 6 foot is very restrictive. But then I thought, well, let's turn it round and make it a challenge. Let's make it work. Such a small area. And then I just got carried away with it like a nerd. I just got latched onto it, and I thought, what more can I do? What else can I fit in? What can I do here and what can I do there? And it's just grown organically. So, and it's become an exciting place. I know it sounds really, really daft and nerdy, but sometimes when I'm not making anything, I'll just take a cup of tea down and sit in there and have a brew.
Yeah.
Because it's just cool. It's just cool, you know.
We all do that.
Yeah.
We all just appear into our little maker spaces and just for a bit of quiet time. And you know, this times I'll go in there and put some music on and a cup of tea and sit down and just think, and you know, start, you know, just, you know, whoa, yeah, I'd love to do that. And I'll just sit and touch things and feel and start, you know, thinking. And there's a lot of times I sit in there and just for a bit of me time.
Yeah, I think a lot of makers do that, don't they? They actually go into the workshops because it's like it's their own space, you know. Sometimes when I've had a really tough day, I'll just go and sit in the workshop. It's like a safe space sometimes, and somewhere where you can actually let go. I mean, I'm not the easiest person to live with. I really know that. You know, I am quite nerdy in certain ways. So in the workshop, I can be as nerdy and as organised as I want because it's my space. You know, I'm not having to cope with other people's space. It's mine, and I can just relax in there and shuffle tools around and make it all look nice and neat and clean up. And I really should get out more.
Well, that video that you made of your workshop is amazing. If people haven't seen that, that's definitely worth watching.
Yeah, this
it's
workshop
just
tour.
it's just fascinating seeing everything that you've got in there and how you fitted it all together. But yeah, it's kind of I suppose it's like having a little sanctuary, isn't it? Where
Yeah,
you
it's a
can
good
go.
word.
And,
Yeah, it's a good way to put it.
yeah,
That's it. Yeah.
room. Yeah, yeah. So, so is there anything else we've not talked about that you'd like to mention? Anything we've not covered that you'd like to talk about?
I think it's up to you to pull it out of me.
Well, how
You've got
are
to.
we doing with the questions?
Well, we've talked about all the questions that we had. The last one really is
What?
What does the maker community not know about you?
Yeah.
So we'll go with that then. What does the maker community not know about you?
That's a tough one, that, because they know, most of them know I'm an origami nerd. Most of them know I play music, I do my pipes, because they've been in my videos. So what do they not know? I know, they might not know. I am a fully licensed amateur radio enthusiast. I don't think anybody there knows that, because that's a me thing. So yeah, I'm a radio ham.
Well, there you go. My.
I bet someone in the chat's. Yeah, I bet someone in the chat's going to say, "I knew that now."
Yeah, I remember when I still lived in Eccles. Frank, my next door neighbour, he was a licensed. Well, in fact, he was an electrical engineer. So he was a licensed ham radio operator, and I remember going into his radio room, and the satellite dish as well that he built it all himself on the back of the house, and I didn't mind. I mean, some people say you can bloody take that down, but he was a really nice guy, and he did some amazing things. But yeah, I went in there. It was like being on, the flight deck of some amazing spaceship. It's like flipping heck, and he built it all himself. He was at Maplin's every other bloody day, or he'd call in on his way back. Oh, just been to Maplin's and I've got this doodad and that. But that was incredible. Something I've never done.
I used to have a little CB radio.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. Did you have a CB radio? Because I'm sure you'd mentioned it.
Yeah, I used to have a little CB radio. I wasn't very good at it though. I didn't know all the jargon and everything. It was when I lived in London I had one of those. But yeah, I messed about with that a little bit. But you said you use Morse code.
Yeah, I really love Morse code. I'm still not fast enough. I'm working on my speed to get up to speed, because the majority of people do communicate at around about 20 words a minute, which doesn't sound a lot, but it's quite fast.
Yeah.
So I'm working on my speed. It's something that I've always wanted to do. When I was, it must have been about 7 or 8, my dad said to me, when you're old enough, we'll sit the radio exam and we'll build a radio and we'll do Morse code. And it's something that really stuck with me. Oh yeah, that's great. Anyway, sadly it never happened. But when I technically retired, I thought, it is going to happen. So within 9 months I sat all 3 exams, got to the full license status, and now I want to do the Morse code and then eventually build the radio and communicate using Morse code. Something that I was going to do when I was 7. I'm going to do it. So that's the task for 2019. And 2020 will be building the radio. 2021 will be trying not to electrocute myself, I think. Oh, sorry, that's my phone.
That's all right.
I was going to film this in the workshop, but I couldn't get the internet speed fast enough for the camera.
Yeah.
So I had to bring it into the living room, and it's right next to the phone, and I can't switch it off. So
it's all right.
anyway,
Don't worry.
stop ringing.
Don't worry. I bet they're just ringing to say we've seen you on the internet.
But I also
probably.
think that was funny because just as you're talking about building, radios, and I heard all these beep, 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 all these ringtones. I thought, hey, right on cue.
So Maple Tree Studios is asking, did you ever do slow scan with the Specky or ZX81?
Oh, ZX81, yeah. I couldn't afford to buy it, so I had to buy it as a kit. I think it was £69 to buy, but you could buy it for 35 as a kit. So I bought it as a kit, and it took me about 3 weeks to put together. But when I put it together, it worked. And you have to have lived in that era to know how exciting that was. I mean, we take mobile phones and internet access so much for granted nowadays, but that was a quantum leap, really, to have your own computer. That was something fantastic, and I program it, and you saved it on a tape. You saved your program on a tape.
Yeah.
And it took forever to load. It took felt like days to load. So the ZX81 would sit there and I'd never switch it off. So I didn't have to keep waiting for it to load. So yeah, it's I've still got it somewhere. It's in the loft, along with all the other incarnations of computers that I've got. There must be a good dozen or so computers up there. And that started me down the programming side, and I became a programmer and then a systems analyst, and I'd rescue old computers that were going to get scrapped. So I thought one day I'll have a museum of computers, but I don't know, there's too much to do in this life. So ZX81. Oh, I feel old now.
A lot of fun.
Well, we had a Dragon 32.
Oh yes.
Yeah, I've just sold it not that long ago, actually, on eBay. But yeah, we'd had that, and I think we used to play, tennis. These tennis you could have on television, and you had to move your little cursor to knock the ball over, and it was quite good fun, that. I remember playing that a lot. I can't remember how old I was when we got the Dragon 32. I'd say, I don't know, 10 or something like that. But yeah.
No, it'd be later than that.
Was it be later?
Yeah, because the Dragon 32 was probably out in the early 80s, like 82, 83.
Yeah, I don't think I was that old then when I was
bet you were.
Right.
I bet Steve
Well, I
can
was
back
still
me
a
up.
big kid then. Because
Steve can back me up on that. The Dragon 32 was early 80s.
Right. Well.
Yeah. It was a sensation, that, because it had 32K of RAM, not 32 meg, 32K, and that was phenomenal. Yeah. That was absolutely phenomenal.
Yeah.
Now that wouldn't even hold a segment of a photograph.
I know.
At the time, whoa.
It's cracking.
That was amazing.
Yeah, it's unbelievable. I was just smiling then because there was a big bang, and I think it was Bamba coming up the stairs or something.
Well, I think he'd gone downstairs.
Yeah.
And he's probably dropped. He likes, as he goes down the stairs with a toy, he'll drop a toy and watch it fall down a couple of steps, like a slinky spring. He'd love a slinky spring.
Yeah.
But he drops a toy down, and you can hear it bounce down, and then he'll let it come to rest, and then he'll go down and retrieve it, and then chuck it down a couple more, and he's obviously watching it go down the stairs, and he finds it fascinating. I think he'd thrown a toy down, and then he went down to get it, and he's come back up.
Yeah. So, is there anybody in the chat wants to ask Stephen a question? Now's your chance. Is there anything else you'd like to add? You've had a very
Yeah, can you
interesting life.
Yeah, can you remember what was the memory on the ZX81?
Oh crikey! There was a game that you actually had to type in and store it on the tape, and it was called Trader, and you were in charge of a sailing ship, and you sailed from one port to the other, and you'd buy things and sell them at the next port, and you had to make a certain amount of money. It was a text-based game. There was no graphics really. You typed in, and then the computer would type something else, and you'd type back. It was a text-based game, but I absolutely loved that. I think I made about $14 million one day.
Yeah, my first computer was a Commodore VIC-20. I know that in its standard form came with 3.5K. So I was buying all these RAM packs that you plug into the back to boost your memory, so you could get 8K expansion and 16K, and then after that, obviously, we got bigger and better. But my first computer was a VIC-20, but I loved that. And again, that the tape cassette, I had the proper Commodore cassette recorder, and so many happy memories playing games on that.
Oh, you were posh.
Yeah.
So there's a question. Have you finished your kitchen?
No. I've only been working on it 13 months. But the trouble is, I took it right back to the bare brick and the joists and started right from scratch. And when you do that, you just open up bigger and bigger holes. When I took the ceiling down, I thought, well, while the ceiling's down, I could get this half of the house rewired. So that went in. And then you look up and you see all the central heating pipes, and you look at the distribution manifold, which is a bit sort of manky, and you think, that's going to need replacing. So it just goes on and on and on. But I have built all the cupboards, and I've plastered all the walls, and the cupboards are up, and I have got my living room back. So I'm doing all right. I started filming it because I thought it might make a good series for the 8x6 workshop. But to be honest, part way through, I thought, I just need to get this done. You'll know yourself when you actually filming the job, it takes like 4 times as long, and then all the editing, and it was getting to the point where it was driving me nuts. I thought, I just want my kitchen back. So I have filmed some of it. I filmed the unusual things that I've been making and putting in the kitchen. So there will be a mini series of the kitchen eventually, but it's nearly there. Just a bit of tiling and a bit of plastering and a bit of painting, and it might be done by Christmas 2021.
Target date 2021.
That sounds good.
So,
Well, we shall look forward to having a look at that when you've got your videos up. So tell everybody where they can find you if they don't already know.
they can find me here. YouTube, it's Stephen's 8x6 workshop. That's 8x6 workshop, or just Google 8x6 workshop, you'll find me. I'm on Instagram as 8x6_workshop. Facebook, it's Stephen's 8x6 workshop, and the website is www.8x6workshop.co.uk. I think by the time they've looked at all that, they've seen enough of me.
Well, do you know what? I think you're fascinating, and I think you've just got such an eclectic collection of skills and interests and experiences. It just goes on and on, really. And I think, you know, that makes the conversation really interesting. So
well, it does help being a nerd.
Not wrong with that.
No, it's great. It's been great chatting with you tonight. I've learned such a lot about you, and you know, we've talked about all sorts of different things, and it's been really interesting. Thank you so much for joining us tonight.
No, thanks for inviting me on your privileged podcast. I think now I'm going to actually I'm going to check on my subscribers and see if it's gone down. But thank you very much.
No, it's been really cool having you. It was great getting to speak to you at Harrogate and your mate Rob and then Peter. No, was it Peter? Rob, then Peter.
Yeah.
So it was great shaking their hands and whatnot. So thank you so very much, Steve. You are a lot of fun, and you're a great source of inspiration to a lot of people, both in computer land and when you're out and about doing your workshops and origami and stuff like that. So you are a very, very, very clever man and very well liked. So
there were so many people said on at the weekend they were looking forward to catching you on the podcast. So I think that's testament to you.
No pressure then.
No pressure. No pressure at all.
No pressure.
No, we don't want our guests to feel any pressure, just to enjoy it and have fun.
So
thanks very much for having me on. It's been great. I've really enjoyed it. Enjoyed it. Yeah, honestly.
Cool. You know, you did remarkably well, and we'll definitely have you back on in the future. No worries there.
Yeah, it'd be lovely to catch up with you again and see what you've been up to. So you're most welcome to stick with us whilst we waffle on about our week.
That would be interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So do hang about and chip in where you'd like to. You've got a few people saying, well, still a subscriber and subscribed. Some of them have subscribed. So I think your numbers are still safe.
Yeah, in fact they've probably gone up a bit. Oh yeah. Check out Steve's channel, and obviously his videos are a lot of fun, and like Nicola said, his production values and his geekiness comes across in such a charming way. You will be tempted to cross over to the dark side of geekiness after you've listened to his channel. That show made me laugh. Loads of your videos, and you're out there in such a nice way. It's the world's a much happier place for having your geekiness shining out like a beacon. So that's really cool. Yeah.
Right then.
Excellent. Right, I'll pay you later.
All right then. Yeah. Word from your sponsor, me.
Right, okay. I'll shut up and let you two have a natter.
All right, we'll have a natter.
Cheers, Steve.
Okay.
So then, what have we done this week?
There's the little North of England woodworking show.
Yeah, well, that's pretty much what we've done, really, because you packed up on Wednesday, and then we were there from Thursday setting up.
Yeah.
When we were going, I was thinking, we'll be away for 4 days, and it sort of seems like a long time, but it's absolutely flown by.
It has flown by, and I think I was sort of thinking to myself, going, this is going to be, such a long time away, like you've just said, but it didn't feel like that.
No.
The show was very busy. I was very busy. You were very busy. And you know, it was great to like Stephen and his mates and all our friends popping by. It went by in a blur, and you know, we were so well looked after. You know, but everyone that we end up doing some stuff with look after us so well. But you know, Brimark, which is Clive and Megan, Brimark Tools, and then Pontus, who's I'll tell you a funny story about how I described Pontus to someone in the hotel. But yeah, we were really looked after so well, and then you know we went out for lovely meals at the end of each day, and we had you know something to eat and a drink and a great chat. It whizzed by, but when we went out, boy, did we get wet a couple of nights with that rain, flipping heck.
Well, I'll tell you another funny story as well.
Oh yeah, go on.
We left here, didn't we, on the Thursday? And we were still sat on the drive, and I said to Chris, did you pack a coat for me? And he said no, and I said... You didn't
say that, you said, have I got a coat?
Oh, have I got a coat?
You didn't say, did you pack one? Well, don't blame me. I'd enough putting all the tools and all my kit in.
Anyway, the upshot was that we were sat outside on the drive with no coat in the car for me, and I said, oh, it'll be fine, because we'll be going sort of from the hotel to you know,
into the hall
and the car, you know, we won't be walking about much, and I was going to borrow your coat, wasn't I?
Yeah, that was the plan.
Anyway, we get there, and the first night it absolutely threw it down. So I had to go into Sainsbury's, which was the shop at the bottom near the Harrogate place, the Yorkshire.
The north of it, the showground.
Yeah, the showground. Yeah.
Sainsbury's next to the showground.
I had to go and buy a coat. Anyway, it was very nice.
It's a lovely coat and very festive. Megan loved it. You said it's a lovely dark ruby red, so it's very.
Yeah, I look like Mrs. Claus.
But yeah, so you bought a new coat, but you said it was a great value for money, didn't you? So,
yeah, it was good. I didn't want to spend a fortune, but yeah, I'm quite pleased with it.
So yeah, you've got a nice new coat.
Yeah. So.
But then your boots started leaking, so we've thrown them in, or your shoes, not your boots.
Yeah.
You had to stop wearing your nice shoes because they started leaking.
Yeah.
And Megan was coming down the stairs in the restaurant. And snapped a heel off one of her pairs of boots. Yeah. So it was quite a heavy shoe-related weekend.
I know.
So, no, great weekend. Absolutely great weekend. And here's the funny story about Pontus. So, obviously, I knew Pontus, you know, shame on me for not really doing my research, but I'd heard Pontus on other videos, and I knew he travelled the world, you know, demonstrating Tormek. At all these shows all around the world. So we were at breakfast on the Saturday morning, and I was talking to this guy, and he did say, oh, you're not that blind woodturner, are you? So I said, yeah. He said, fucking hell. Oh yeah. He said, well, I'm here. And he said, well, yeah, I know all about you. And anyway, so he said, what are you doing here? So I said, well, I'm the guest of Brimark Tools and Tormek. And I said, Clive is one of the senior guys at Brimark Tools, and Megan. And I said, Pontus goes around the world demonstrating how to use the Tormek sharpening system, and he's got this wealth of technical knowledge. And Clive said, Chris, you do know he is the CEO of Tormek, don't you? And I went, no, I don't. So Pontus, who was there all weekend, is the boss of Tormek. And I had him in my head as one of their demonstrating technical sales advisors, but no, he's the big cheese. Lovely guy, love him for bits.
Yeah,
had some great conversations. So yeah, I'm sorry for that little faux pas, Pontus.
But you know what? As I've said to you, I love these guys like that who have got these big jobs and they're just so down to earth, and they're not what I call up their own backsides. And, you know, in my experience, they're always the ones who have got brilliant businesses and do brilliant jobs.
Yeah.
Because they just get on with what they're doing. And
it's funny because
they're always the best, you know, MDs, CEOs.
Yeah, and it's funny because in a way I've often thought, I wonder who the big boss of Tormek is. I've just spent 4 days with him. So now I know. Well, yeah, he travels the world. He travels the world promoting and demonstrating. So he's hands on, and he started there, 20, 25 years ago, and he's
works his way up.
He's worked in every part of the company, and now he's the captain of it all. Really. So amazing guy, lovely, so clever and knowledgeable, and a fellow Viking. Yeah.
But we had a good time, didn't we? And they really looked after us. It was, they looked after us all weekend, didn't they? And
yeah, remarkably well.
It was really brilliant.
And also, I'm the first goblet that I was making for Pontus, sort of like a medieval Viking style. Decided to let go on the lathe. So yeah, that went kablamo. So I said to Clive, I said, no, I will make Pontus a goblet. So I told Pontus, I'm making you a goblet, and it'll be sort of like medieval Viking style. So we got a lovely piece of spalted beech from Tony at British Hardwoods. He donated a piece, a lovely big spindle blank, chunky. So anyway, second attempt, yeah, it all went according to plan. So Pontus was absolutely overjoyed with it, and he's taken that back to Tarmac HQ now, and there's a sort of like a display cabinet with pieces in there from well-known woodturners, Glenn Lucas, Nick Agar, Phil Irons, people that are Tarmac users, and Pontus said it would be an absolute honour to have one of your pieces, Chris, in this display cabinet, alongside, truly amazing woodturners, world famous. So yeah, he packed it very carefully in his case, and this photograph of me presenting it to him, and it's a sizable goblet. And even Phil Irons came over and said, he says that goblet you've done, Chris, he said, is absolutely stunning. He says the way you've got the curves and the shape and the form, he says, it's absolutely unbelievable. So I said, well, it's on its way to Sweden. So I'm really pleased.
It'll be there now.
Oh yeah, it'll be. Yeah, Pontus caught the plane back to Sweden last night,
today.
And he had to be in work because he had a shareholders. He's got to do some paperwork for the shareholders, hasn't he?
Yeah.
And things like that. So yeah, he was straight back at it. So I think it was. He said when he lands, it's a 2.5-hour drive. Land in Stockholm, and then they're based in Lindesberg in Sweden. So I think he said it was about 2.5-hour drive home. Few hours sleep, and then he's back at it.
No, he wasn't going to get much sleep.
No. So yeah, wonderful, and it was a full-on program really for me. I was doing 2 sharpening demos a day. So I'd do a demo in the morning at 10:30 a.m.
Yeah.
And then I'd pretty much use the tools that I'd just sharpened: bowl gouge and scrapers and spindle gouges, roughing out gouge. So I'd sort of like do the sharpening and then try to incorporate that in the projects then that I was going to do. So yeah, over the 3 days, so I did 6 sharpening demos, and got to use one of Tarmac's new diamond wheels. So I was using the middle grit. So there's 3 diamond wheels. You've got the coarse, which is 360, the fine it's called, which is 600, and then the extra fine, which was 1200. And lo and behold, I've managed to bring the diamond wheel that I was using home, because Clive had said from Primark, he said, have you got one of these diamond wheels? And he said, we must let you have one. So we were packing up, and Megan said, Chris, do you want the box for that diamond wheel we're giving you? And I was like, whoa, I can't believe that, because I thought, well, I'd have to wait, or because Pontus was saying, we'll have to try and get you on, but they'd arranged to give me one. So I brought it home. So I am the proud owner now of a Tarmac diamond wheel. So they never need retruing or sharpening or anything. So that was an amazing gift. So and such an amazing bit of kit. I know this sounds like a bit of a plug for Tarmac, but you use less pressure. You can use them dry, but they recommend you use them wet, because at least that's going to carry away any of the steel you've removed from your tool. away, and you have this unbelievable sharp finish. And the shavings that I was getting off my bowl gouge,
Yeah, they were good.
It's like, because you've said Phil Irons on some of his pictures,
Yeah.
He has
strings,
strings, shavings hanging off the rafters,
Yeah.
and I had shavings. I could feel them flying off behind me and going all over. And packing all my stuff away today, I found long strangly spiral shavings in all my toolboxes, as you do at a demo. So yeah, the level of sharpness you get with that is absolutely unbelievable. But you buy it once and that's it. It lasts a lifetime, really, with careful use. So
yeah. So what else did we do?
Well, it was sort of like having fun, eating, talking, turning, sharpening.
Shall we do a name check?
We're gonna do a name check, and we think we've remembered all of the usual suspects. I'm just gonna have there's a disclaimer here. If we've forgotten, we're sorry.
Well, obviously we need to thank Brymark and Tormek for inviting us and making it possible for us to be there. We've mentioned Pontus and Clive, and there was Meg as well, who looked after us as well.
Yeah.
And then you've got John, who was on the Proxon stand. He was doing tool demonstrations.
Yeah, a wonderful model boat builder.
Yeah. And then we spent some time chatting with the Axminster team. So Craig, who we see a lot, Colwyn, Jason, Chris, who was doing the Arbotech stuff next door, making a big racket.
Yeah, but I had a PA and a mic on, so I kept shouting, "Shut up, will you? I've phoned the police." But he had a great demo on those little trees he was making were brilliant. I had a feel of them.
Yeah, they were.
They were really good. So he sold quite a few of them.
Yeah, so they were great. We saw Phil Irons. We had a chat with some of the RPT guys from the RPT stand, but we never managed to go have a coffee with them.
They invited us over, and I really did want to go over and have a chat and a coffee with them. And because they were saying, congratulations on becoming RPT. But every time we said, right, yeah, and Clive said, yeah, go over and have a coffee with them, that's fine. And then someone would go, Chris, how are you, mate? It's like, all right. And then you get talking, and they'd go, and then you go, right, well, I've got to carry on turning now. So it's sod's law. But anyway, hello to all the RPT turners that were in attendance.
Yeah. And we saw Gary Lowe, David Lowe, Pat Carroll, Helen,
me, you saw me.
Steve,
8x6,
Steve, and your mates Bob and Peter. Yeah, so we got to talk to them. Mick Ambrick.
Oh yeah, we saw Mick as well. Oh, he's funny.
Yeah, Mick's a nice guy. Lovely energy.
We chatted with Dan and his dad, and I don't know what the other guy's called, on Taylor's Murfield.
Yeah.
We had some wood. Thank you very much to British Hardwoods, who donated some pieces for you to turn. We chatted with Joe and Glenn from Yorkshire Grit.
Yes, we did.
And Wayne the Woodturner. We also chatted with Wayne, who was
Wayne
on the Yorkshire Grit stand too.
Yeah, Wayne was the demonstrating turner for Yorkshire Grit. So Wayne had a great show and they'd sold a fair few pots of that stuff, haven't they?
Yeah.
And can I just say thank you very much for my pot of grit?
Yes.
Yeah, thank you very much, guys.
Bob Neal was on the stand opposite us, so I did a bit of pyro. With Bob. Les Thorne came and chatted with you quite a bit.
Yeah, Martin Shazam Smith.
Yeah.
Of Hamp Machine.
Yeah.
Terry and Mandy
from
Chestnut. So that was great to
catch up with them.
Yeah, and we met them when we arrived on Thursday afternoon. They were just coming out.
Yeah.
So we had a good little chat, and it's great to chat with those guys. Absolutely amazing. Love using their stuff as well.
We saw Wayne and Valerie Gilbert on both days. They came and watched. It was lovely to catch up with them.
And thank you so very much, guys, for buying me that lovely tulip wood bowl blank.
Yeah,
very much appreciated. We'll have a lot of fun turning that, and I'll video that. I'll probably do that this Thursday.
Lindsay Gardner came and said hello.
Yeah, Lindsay. I don't know if does Lindsay listen to this podcast.
I'm not sure,
but
sometimes I think
Lindsay has been a great supporter and follower of mine for many years, and he was in attendance, but I was uber busy, and I feel really bad for not having the time to speak to someone that's followed us for such a long time. So Lindsay, listen, mate, I'm gonna send you a video message. So yeah, but yeah, awesome, mate. Keep on rocking.
We spoke to Tiny Turner and her mum and dad.
Yeah, Emma.
You saw Brian Cockrell, or he came and chatted with you. I didn't see Brian because I'd just gone to get some lunch.
Yeah, Brian, he'd got there quite late, but yeah, he's had a busy year, and he wasn't able to demonstrate there this year. But he did tell us some fascinating news. I'm really happy for him that he'd been away and done probably a residential course, I don't know, or he'd stayed at a hotel nearby, but he'd been away and done his blacksmithing course, so he's a certified blacksmith now. Yeah. So well done, Brian. There's another string to your bow. So yeah, he's a very talented maker, Brian.
And there were a number of guys from various wood turning clubs that we've visited. Loads of them came and said hello.
The funny them guys from the northeast, North Shields that way. They were in attendance. Lovely guys, and they've got that lovely sense of humour. That's great. So
I'm just trying to remember. I won't remember them all, but there was Scunthorpe, there was Wigan.
Huddersfield.
Yeah,
because they brought Bamba's bowl that we'd left behind.
Yeah, we always like to leave a donation when we do demos and stuff.
Yeah. So yeah, lots of and also wood turning clubs that have booked us for next year. Yeah. They were coming saying, "Oh yeah, you're coming to us next March," and we just thought we'd come and say hello, and we can't wait. And West Riding, that were opposite us, they booked us for a demo, and one of their turners, they had something explode at a rapid rate of knots as well. Yeah. So they came over and said, Chris, it's not only you that can do it. So, anyway, me having a goblet, go kablamo. Yeah, I thought, Mike Walt would be proud of me.
Yeah. And then on the Sunday, late on, Baz and Jermaine came. Baz Starkey and his friend Jermaine.
Yeah.
And that was
very well timed,
and they helped us pack up as well, which we're really grateful for.
Yeah, so Baz Starkett and Jermaine, they've been to a couple of our events and demos now. Lovely lads. They are makers, and they're craftsmen, and they're sort of like joiners, and they're both wood turners. So yeah, they turned up and we had a good chat, and then they hung around.
Sorry, that's my phone again.
So they hung around and helped us.
It's that person that's rung before. Yeah. And what they're doing now is they're ringing back and saying, "Why have you not rung me? I rang you before and you've not rung me back yet."
The people ringing up for your autograph. Email us out your autograph, please, Steve.
Oh, the persistent.
Oh, you never know.
Oh, that's it. Yeah. Oh, there you go. It's got a voicemail. So,
so hopefully we've not forgotten anybody.
Yeah. Anyway, Baz and Jermaine. Yeah, lovely. The makers, the turners, and they stayed around. And big shout out to Jermaine because he kept Bamba occupied whilst we loaded the car with the main stuff, and then Baz was helping us carry out all of that stuff. And then Jermaine picked my lathe up and carried my lathe up, a couple of 100 yards to the car. And, those MIDI lathes, just pick it up and move it, not too fast, not bad, but he just picked it up and carried it a fair distance. So big thanks to Jermaine and Baz.
The other person is Adrian Broadhead from Triton as well.
Oh yeah, Adrian.
He follows you, and we saw him and he said hello, and he's a really nice guy. Yeah,
and we were talking to Charlie Bethel.
Oh yeah.
From the society, the charity Men's Sheds. Now, I demonstrated and spoke at their awards dinner earlier this year, and we've got some exciting news coming in the new year regarding Men's Sheds. Certainly exciting for us, anyway.
Yeah.
So
everybody?
That's pretty much everybody. Yeah, if we have missed you out, we are incredibly sorry. Hopefully, we've got all of our nearest and dearest there. I'm just going sort of like through a bit of a walk through the hall now, trying to remember who we'd bumped into. Didn't get a chance to speak to Simon Hope, but
Andrew Hall. You spoke to Andrew Hall.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can't remember anymore. But yeah, we spoke to loads of people, and it was sort of, it's kind of like a mini Maker Central, isn't it? You know, and just the people were just as nice there as they are at Maker Central.
Steph from Cardiff.
Oh yes,
he's not in Ben that helped out. He was sort of like when Clive had taken Pontus back to the airport, Ben was helping out. So we know them very well. So I think that's it. So really, that's what's been our main focus really this week. I've had a guide dog aftercare visit today, so they know all about Bamba's hypothyroid condition. But yeah, we've been signed off for another year, which is cool. So that's happened today. Well, basically, I unloaded the car and then did my aftercare thing with Alison, my guide dog instructor. And then when she'd gone, we had lunch, and then I packed everything away, and that was it. And then it was tea time. So it's been a busy day, but we've kept going. So I was saying to Steve, it's our first day on the keto diet. We're just trying to, get a bit trimmer, because we have, in all fairness, we have got a very busy year next year, and we could do with being a bit fitter and a bit healthier. Me certainly, being a bit lighter, and it's just going to help my energy and all that sort of stuff. So yeah, the keto diet, it's incredible. And Andy Hall has lost an amazing amount of weight. Basically, we're cutting out all the stodgy crap. So we're going to be off bread, wheat, pasta, rice, cakes, biscuits, crisps. Apparently, I think as a rule of thumb, if it grows above the ground, it's okay.
Yeah.
Root vegetables and potatoes.
Yeah.
But it's funny because wheat grows above the ground, but that's taboo.
Yeah.
But yeah, we're cutting out all that stodge and sugar and crud. So we're going to be having healthy, lean protein and veg. Really, that's it.
I'd just like to mention.
You do realise.
What?
Go on. You do realise, Chris, that now you've changed your diet. It's going to be a little bit windy for a few evenings.
What you mean? So yes, I'm
saying nothing.
I am well aware of the side effects of a high protein diet.
I'm saying nothing.
Yeah.
No Jaffa.
You're going to be disturbing Bamba's sleep.
Well, yeah. Actually, poor lad's he's a bit tired anyway. So I better get all my pumping done tonight while he's tired.
I just wanted to point out I rearranged my study, and I've got my little writing desk now behind me instead of the round table. And on that is a Christmas, what do you call it? Flag thing that Sally made.
Oh, part of the bunting.
Yeah, it's like a piece of bunting, and it says Christmas at the Fishers. So Sally, Chris's cousin, makes those. They're really persistent.
That's the BBC now.
I am so sorry about this. Yeah.
All right.
That's either the BBC or YouTube or ITV or that's Lancashire. Oh, we've just heard you on the podcast.
No, I don't think so. No, I'm usually getting home by about now, so people will be ringing me thinking, oh, he'll be back now. I'll give him a quick ring before he goes to bed. So I'm sorry about that.
No, it's all right.
That or
don't have to apologise.
Someone's realised they can make my phone ring and they can hear it on YouTube. Oh dear.
So Have we got anybody who'd like to gate crash for a few minutes before we finish? If you would like to, ideally someone who's not done it before, please shout up now.
Yeah, ideally someone that's not done it before, let them have a few minutes to have a chat with us. Come on, folks. Come on, roll that dice, pull the trigger. Come on. Come on.
So what we're doing this week?
Well, we've got Charlie's got a few days off, so we've got Charlie Wednesday afternoon, Thursday, Friday, and Saturday, which is cool. Charlie's getting to come and hang out. Got to get him back for Saturday. He's got a few days off work. That's wonderful. We're going to listen to some music together. He wants to talk about aviation. He wants to talk about a possible trip to Denmark next year for a weekend that we've been planning for a couple of years. So hopefully we can get away for a weekend, Charlie and I, to Denmark. So we've got lots to talk about with Charlie. What else have we got planned? We've got a trip to the vets on Friday with Bamber.
His checkup.
Yeah, make sure his medication is working. And Thursday we've got Matthew back with us to film a video. So yeah, we've got stuff happening.
Yeah.
So I'm going to get back in the workshop tomorrow and start faffing again and having a play.
Yeah.
I'm sort of like getting to grips now, and I'm doing Instagram posts myself now.
Yes.
So,
yeah.
Yeah. So that's another thing that I've learned, and it's not that. I mean, it's very similar to Twitter. But if I post to Instagram, this thing that Nicola's got, if this then that, then what? If this then that.
If this then that.
If this then that. So I just need to post on Instagram, and it gets spread out to all the other feeds we've got.
Yeah, well, it goes onto Twitter and Facebook.
Yeah, so that's cool. So I can just post on Instagram now.
Yeah.
And it goes to the others. So yeah, I'll be doing some Instagram posting tomorrow. But I'll be in the workshop tomorrow. It feels like a very chilly night tonight. Are we having no gate crashes?
Nobody's I don't think anybody said they're going to do it. People are trying to nudge Leona, but I don't think she's Wayne Bigfoot Woodcraft.
Come on, Leona.
Stephen. Anybody, or shall we call it a night?
It's fine if you want to leave it for another.
Don't worry.
Don't worry. That's fine, because if you're not going to come, I will go and take B-Dog out for his ablutions, as I do after every podcast. Make him go and have a tinkle. He'll have one now, and then he'll have another one when I'm locking up at bedtime. But are we going?
Yeah, I think that's us done.
Right, folks.
Thank you so much to everybody who's been watching tonight, and
our absolutely wonderful, exceptional, geeky, clever, eclectic, charming Steve 8x6. And you definitely owe me some money now.
And yes,
you're a smoothie, Chris.
Yeah.
So, you're a smoothie.
Yeah, I know. But yeah, it's actually great because we, all these shows, and Steve goes, Nicola say, "Oh, Steve's down there," and I say, "Well, I'm in the middle of a demo," and it's a shame because I do like talking to you because you're such an interesting guy. But it's been great. Yeah, we've got a chance to finally speak at Harrogate and have you on here as a guest. So that's enough smoke getting blown up your posterior, and I don't want to go there because you're on the keto as well. So right, on that note, we're off. So don't forget to like, share, comment, and subscribe. Thank you so very much. We love you all very dearly. Thank you all for the support. Thanks.
Yeah, thank you very much.
Yeah.
And thanks for watching and joining us. We really appreciate it.
So until next Monday.
Yeah.
Ciao. Bye.
Bye.